Hi, I'm Brian from Restart Round. Thanks for checking out our game, Mole Park Whack and Win. In Mole Park, you roll dice to whack moles and win prizes. The ultimate goal of the game is to win King Mole's crown and become the new King Mole. Not only do you win the game, but you become King Mole for the next game. In this video, we'll first show how to set up the game, then we'll see some rounds in action. Stay tuned. Mole Park comes with 2 packs of mole cards, 1 pack of prize cards, the 32 dice, and the rulebook. We'll point out the steps in the setup so that you can follow along. Step 1 is to set up the mole deck by shuffling together all of the mole cards and putting the deck by the side of the board. Step 2 is to set up the prize stands. Separate each color into a different pile and shuffle each pile independently. Then, place the prize stand on the corresponding space on the board and flip up the top card. Third, everyone chooses a player color and collects the 4 dice of that color. If you are playing with fewer than 8 players, set aside the extra dice. Finally, determine who starts as King Mole. Everyone roll their prize die, that's the one with stars, and the highest value becomes King Mole for the first game. If there's a tie, the tied players roll again. And that's it! You're now ready to play Mole Park. Let's first go over the board. The bottom half is used for whacking moles, while the top half is used for cashing in those moles for prizes. Every round, moles will come out of these holes numbered 1 to 5. It's your job to whack as many moles as you can, so that you can cash them in for better and better prizes. Winning prizes will make it easier in the future to win better prizes, allowing you to work your way up towards claiming King Mole's crown. Let's take a look at the dice. Each player has the same set of 4 dice: a boxing glove, a frying pan, a giant mallet, and a special prize die that is used for winning prizes. Of these 3 are used for whacking, and only the prize die is used for winning. During every round, you will select one of your 4 dice to roll, and the action you take will be determined by the dice that you choose. These dice have different outcomes. The boxing glove can only roll 1s and 2s, the frying pan can only roll 2, 3, and 4, and the giant mallet can only roll 4s and 5s. That being said, each dice also can roll an X, which is a miss and you get nothing. The boxing glove has 1 X, the frying pan has 2 X's, and the giant mallet has 3 X's. Now, let's see how to play a round. At the start of each round, deal 1 mole to each hole. If there are more than 5 players, deal 2 moles to each hole instead. Then, everyone should set aside their prize die for now, and pick one of the other 3 dice to use as the whacking dice for this round. Once everyone has chosen a die, it's up to King Mole to say, "Ready? Roll!" and everyone rolls their dice together. If you rolled an X, take your dice off the board. Otherwise, move your die to the number that you rolled. Then, you get the moles in that hole. You can look at your moles, but you don't have to reveal them. That's the end of the round. At the start of the next round, deal out more moles. Make sure everyone has all 4 of their dice, because you can choose a different die to roll this round. On King Mole's command, everyone rolls their dice and resolves them as they did in the first round. Whenever multiple players roll the same number, split the moles in that hole evenly amongst those players, leaving any remaining moles in the hole. You'll start to see that rounds in Mole Park don't take very long at all. Deal out the moles, then each player chooses one of their dice to roll, and on King Mole's command, everyone rolls their dice at the same time. This round, everyone decided to roll the boxing glove. The moles in hole 2 can be split and each player gets 1. However, there's only a single mole in hole 1 which cannot be split between the 2 players, so neither gets anything. Let's talk about going for prizes. Until now, we've only used the 3 whacking dice, but as long as you have at least 1 mole, you can use the prize die to cash in your moles for prizes. Here, the green player chose to roll their prize die. First, resolve all whacking dice normally. Then, anyone who rolled the prize die flips all of their moles face up and lays them on the table. Those players add up all of the stars from the moles that they had, plus the number of stars that are on the die that they rolled. Once you know your total, move your prize die to that place on the prize path. You can then win a prize that costs that number of stars or less. Place the prize that you win face up in front of you for the rest of the game. At the end of the round, restock the prize stands by flipping over the next card in the stand. Let's jump ahead and look at another example when multiple people go for prizes. In that case, each player lays down all of their moles face up and puts their prize die on the prize path at that location. If you have any prizes that you've already won face up in front of you, add any stars from those prizes to your total. Let's look at the green player. They have 10 stars from their moles, 1 star from their prize, and 1 star from their prize die, giving a total of 12 stars. Now it's time for players to pick their prizes. Always pick prizes in order from most stars to least. So here, the blue player picks a prize first. Whenever there's a tie, King Mole gets to decide who picks first between the tied players. However, if King Mole himself is in a tie, he must always pick last. Lastly, it's the green player's turn to pick a prize, but there are none available. They lose all their moles and get nothing. Too bad. At the end of the round, all players collect their dice. Let's jump ahead to later in the game when players have a bunch of prizes in front of them. As normal, all players roll their dice at the same time and resolve whacking first. Here, in hole number 2, there are 3 moles among 2 players, so each gets 1 and 1 stays in the hole. With these new moles, some players now have more than 5 moles in their hand. By default, you can only hold 5 moles in your hand, and you must discard any extras of your choice. Also, remember that you always need at least 1 mole in your hand to go for prizes. You can't win a prize if you don't cash in any moles. Remember, you have to whack before you win. You have to whack before you win. You can't go for any prizes without moles. Don't even try it in mole mode. Lastly, let's talk about going for the crown. When you think that you can win King Mole's crown, you must declare, "I'm going for the crown," at the start of the round, or else you are not eligible to win the crown. In response, any other number of players may also declare that they are going for the crown. All declarations are final. You cannot change your mind after declaring. I've got some good moles, you know? I think I'm gonna go for King Mole's crown.
Wait! I'm gonna go for the crown.
The round proceeds normally, and all players who went for prizes add up their total and put their dice on the corresponding space on the prize path. If a player declared for the crown and did not reach 40 stars, they cannot win any prize and lose all their moles. If any players declared for the crown and did reach 40, those players enter a final playoff round called the Showdown for the crown. If only one player declared for the crown and reached 40, that player immediately wins the game and becomes the new King Mole. If there is a showdown for the crown, all players turn in all of their prizes and clear all moles from the board. Deal out a number of moles equal to the number of players in the showdown to each hole. Then, the players in the showdown roll all 4 of their dice at once. Whack the moles as you normally would, and then immediately cash them in for prizes, adding the value of all your moles plus your prize die. Whichever player has the higher total wins the showdown and becomes the new King Mole.